Running is my way of being able to breathe while I'm considering juggling all of these big ideas at the same time. My hopes that what I'm doing in the rest of the public eye is having such an impact on my children that they'll feel like they can do anything. I've been painting graffiti for about 27 years now. Started out just doing tags with markers on telephone poles and light poles. That would be like the first time. And then it got into getting a hand on some really bad spray paint from the mechanic shop and doing really bad tags in alleys. A lot of that stuff was fun because it would take place during daylight right after school. I learned that at 5 o'clock during traffic rush hour, that's really good to tag right in front of people, because they're stuck in traffic and they're not gonna get out of their car. Like, you're good to go. When I'm teaching graffiti, it's a lot of fundamental processes and techniques. A whole lot like what a conventional studio class would look like.
It was really cool. He gave us a lot of resources to be inspired, sort of just from the class happening, like understanding that there's so much planning that goes into graffiti arts that I don't think people think about when they see the finished product on a wall.
It's really learning the materials, the reaction, fluidity between materials.
Mr. Aguilar has showed us some ways to use blends within a light and dark color. He's demonstrated different types of techniques of using spray paint.
And then I tell them, if this is your first art class, this is your first graffiti class, it's gonna be the worst graffiti you ever do for the first 5 years at least.
We're able to kind of explore what we want to explore. So he brings it up and says, whatever you have in mind, let's set a goal and let's try and achieve that goal. KANE definitely makes it that way.
Also, Miguel's expertise, from his experience as a graffiti artist, he's a great teacher too, so.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of code switching right in front of the students, and I'm really transparent about it. So if kids have ever visited a museum or they're lucky enough to have an art class, I'll tell them, when we're looking at graffiti and we're looking at this, you could also say it's this, so that you know how to talk to your art teacher or talk to your parent about it. And they get it. They know that they have to do that on their own every day. To me, that's the most I can offer. Contextualizing, giving some vocabulary and some comprehensive framework around why it's legitimate and why you shouldn't feel afraid to try it out. Art school was, for me, a rest area on the highway. I really appreciated all my art history classes because that helped me figure out okay, so there were many instances throughout the centuries where an artist had a unique idea or tried to shift the paradigm of painting, and to the point where they would get excommunicated from their little town, or nobody cared about what they did for the next 50 years because nobody could appreciate the vision or something. And I was okay, so that's kind of where graffiti is. And then also making a shift or adding to the larger conversation of mark making, how can I do something that different but just still within graffiti? It's almost like I'm being bilingual with the art making. If I do graffiti, I still feel pigeonholed into a graffiti box. Or if I'm doing a painting on a canvas, I feel like graffiti has no traction on it. And so I'm just trying to figure out the space in between that makes me feel like I'm addressing both camps at the same time, and I'm also being able to find my own voice in it.